ACC play is well underway for Syracuse Hoops, coming off an overtime thriller in Durham just a week ago. After beating #1 Duke, SU welcomes the streaky Pittsburgh Panthers to the Dome in a former Big East rivalry. Did the game come down to the wire? Was there bad blood between the two sides? We'll show you how it all went down. And how about the guys on turf heading back to the ACC men's lacrosse tournament in Carolina? But the regular season isn't over yet, as one more opponent stands in SU's way. The Orange head down to Annapolis to face Navy, still looking for revenge from a year ago. You won't want to miss this one. And Syracuse softball traded cold conditions for sunshine as they traveled south for a 3-game series with NC State. And although their ace was scintillating on the mound, her teammates didn't give her much help. We'll take a look at SU's imbalance from the dish. On the Bench starts right now. Welcome to On the Bench alongside John Dales and Nicole Weaving. I'm Cameron Ezer. How are you guys faring in the cold weather so far?
You know, I'm from Chicago, so I'm used to it. I'm all right.
I like the snow. I love watching it fall. I think it's so pretty, but trekking through it, not so much.
Yeah, it's tough to do that, and it's a chilly day in Syracuse, but the sports were far from it, namely last week at Cameron Indoor Stadium, most likely the biggest ACC win of the season as Syracuse took down the top-ranked Duke Blue Devils, but there's no rest for the wearies. SU Hoops had a game a week later. Rivalry season is in full session, and the Orange faithful got a taste of it in the Dome between two old Big East foes, both sitting at 12-5. Pascal Chukwu made his long-awaited return to the starting lineup after his outstanding performance last week, and he would start this game off strong. Pick and roll in the finish. Chukwu utilizing his size down low as the Orange's key presence in the paint. But Pittsburgh, they didn't shy away as they used the long ball to their advantage against Boeheim's patented 2-3 zone. A big part of that, Jared Wilson Frame, who pulls from deep. One of his 5 threes on the game on his way to a team-high 19 points. Buddy Boeheim found his range as well as the Orange looked dominant in the first half, but Pitt did end the half on a 9-0 run. So SU's lead was only 3. Chukwu, again, his presence felt with the stuff at one end, and take a look at his hustle. Running the full 94 feet, and it helps to have a big man that can run the floor. Battle rewards his efforts as Chukwu slams it home, and from this point on, it was all Syracuse. Tyus Battle, watch the junior go in this one. The anticipation and the flush. Cuse took a 50-31 lead midway through the second half. However, O'Shea Brissett said, "Tyus, hold my drink." The sophomore right here with authority. Adis Tony, welcome to your Kodak moment. Brissett rocking the Dome with a vicious slam and flexing for the camera, and rightfully so after that play. As Buddy Boeheim added insult to injury, draining his 4th 3 on his way to a career high in points as the Orange took this one 74-63 in a very tight ACC. John, Nicole, take a look at these standings. Syracuse sitting amongst the best in the conference, and it's safe to say that the ACC is closer than people on a jam-packed subway in New York City. The 3 teams leading the pack, no surprises there. UNC, Virginia, and Duke, as 4 ACC teams sit in the top 11 in the polls, with Louisville, led by new head coach Chris Mack, not too far behind at number 23, and right in the mix is the only unranked team on your screen, that being the Syracuse Orange. SU has really picked up the pace in conference play after losing 4 non-conference head-to-heads. Now we transition from the hardwood to the turf. Number 7 Syracuse trying to end their season strong against Navy before heading to the ACC tournament. The midshipmen got the better of the Cuse a year ago, taking that one on a last-effort goal in the Dome. But this Orange team is new, refreshed, and ready to go as they looked to win their 4th straight in Annapolis. You can see the midshipmen pumped up for this one, although they sport a 5-6 record, and from the jump, it was all Syracuse. Nate Solomon right here finding the angle, the senior looking like David Beckham from the corner flag on that goal as SU took the lead just a minute in, and they wouldn't let up. Lucas Quinn with a strike off the assist from Stephen Rafus, his first goal in the season, and look at that emotion, 3-1 Cuse. But the midshipmen weren't going anywhere as Ryan Wade says, "Give me the ball in some space," finding the back of the net and knotting this game at 4. And as we head into the second quarter, Bradley Voigt took control, beating the goalkeeper, top right corner, the assist from Brett Kennedy. That gives Syracuse the lead, and to keep a lead, you need a defensive stopper. Drake Porter is just that guy. He has been phenomenal all season long as the midshipmen were shooting at a brick wall in between the pipes. Porter, 7th in the country in save percentage and 69% in this game, but the story had to be the offense. Solomon with the turnaround shot there as the Orange took a 9-5 lead, and then who else? Syracuse's leading point scorer, Bradley Voigt, the king in tight spaces, can truly work with anything as long as the ball finds his stick. He raked up 5 goals in total as the seniors took control. Rafis and Solomon scored a pair and found teammates all over the field. And quite frankly, the entire offense was dishing and dealing. Voigt again finding the back of the net with ease right there. Syracuse ends the regular season with 4 straight wins and takes this one 18-9 in Annapolis over the Midshipmen. And these offense-heavy games have favored the Cuse and their 3 attackers. Over this 4-game winning stretch, Syracuse has averaged an even 15 goals per game, ranking 3rd in the nation for the season. And well, let's be honest, it starts with the top. The 3 Musketeers, Voigt, Solomon, Rafis. This high-powered attack is tough to stop, to say the least. All 3 have broken the 30-point threshold and rank in the top 10 in the ACC in scoring. Voigt is the real standout, though, entering the season with a total of 29 points in his career, and this season a team-high 31 goals, tying him at 4th in the conference. Syracuse softball, winners of 5 of their last 6, faced off against ACC opponent NC State in Game 1 of a 3-game series. The Wolfpack sent Devin Wallace to the bump while Syracuse called on their ace Alexa Romero. The Orange wiped the floor with the Wolfpack just a year ago and look to repeat that in Raleigh on Saturday. As we show you the stats, SU took Game 1 behind the excellence of Alexa Romero as she delivered her 5th complete game victory, giving up only 2 walks and striking out 10 in total. You heard me right, 10. The bats produced as well. Freshman Jessica Scalato had 3 hits, and for the Wolfpack, Sam Roos recorded a run and an RBI, but in the end it was a 4-run 4th inning that was the end-all be-all for Syracuse. They sent the entire order to the plate, including 4 hits, the biggest of them all, Gabby Tehran, blowing this game open with a 2-run double, propelling the Orange to a 5-2 victory. Welcome back to the studio. He's John Dales, she's Nicole Weaving, I'm Cameron Ezair. Now let's head into Fast Break, and this is a little segment we like to call Dish It or Dunk It. I'm going to give you both an end-of-the-season statement, a prediction per se. And if you disagree with me, then you dish it. And if you agree with me, then you dunk it. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, ready to go? I'm going to start with you, John. Elijah Hughes will make an all-ACC team. Dish it or dunk it?
I'm going to dish this one just because...
I think we're getting the hang of this one. Nicole, dish it or dunk it. Bryson Godine will be more impactful than Quincy Guerrier this season.
I have to dish this one as far as possible.
I think I'm going to have to go with Nicole in that one. I respect you taking the little underdog pick, so I respect the take. I like that. So basketball, well, it's a team sport. So probably the most important question, I'm going to start with you, John. Will Syracuse make the NCAA tournament?
I'll reluctantly dunk this one because if there's anything...
Now, I'm not an analyst. I am the host right now. You two are the analysts. But I'm going to give my take, too. I'm going to dunk it. I like Syracuse. I like Jim Boeheim's experience. I'm going to go with you, John. Well, that's all the time we have here on Q's Countdown and on the bench. For John Dales and Nicole Weaving, I'm Cameron Ezair. We'll see you next time.
Welcome now to our Q's Countdown portion of the show. Nicole Weaving, Cameron Ezair, John Dales. And guys, you two have been awfully quiet, so time to get you guys involved and push the fast break. Just like the point guard taking the ball down the floor, you guys will get to make the call in regards to my statement. You like it, drive it to the hoop and dunk it. You disagree, dish it off to your nearest teammate. Are you guys ready?
Ready, let's go.
All right, Elijah Hughes, the only returning player for this Syracuse team. Is he good enough to make an ACC team? Cameron, let's start with you.
You know, I'm going to say dunk it. I'm going to say yes. He is averaging 18 points a game. That's 6th in the ACC. He has 5 boards per game, 4 assists, 1.5 blocks. That's 9th in the ACC. I think people forget about his height down low. 41% from both the field and the three-point line. He can really shoot the ball. And guess what? Tyus Battle last year, well, he made 3rd team All-ACC, and he had similar stats to Elijah Hughes this year, both averaging about 17, 18 points per game. So I think it's going to be tough for Elijah Hughes to make the first team with guys like Cole Anthony and Vernon Carey Jr. in the ACC, but I'm saying Elijah Hughes makes an all ACC team.
C squad come
I
March.
hate to do it, but
Well, you two keeping it friendly so far, but let's move on to statement number 2. This is a Syracuse team that's dealing with a lot of youth this season. 2 of those players, Bryson Godine and Quincy Guerrier. So let's start with you this time, John. Will Bryson Godine be more impactful this season than Quincy Guerrier?
Answer
I'm
one
gonna
of Syracuse's problems.
So if I was on the court and I had the ball, I would dish this ball as fast as possible because Bryson Godine, you mentioned it, the minutes played. He plays about 12 minutes, Guerrier about 19. Godine came into this one. He was an ESPN top 100 player. Everyone expected him to have a great season because he played well in high school. But I just don't see it coming. Guerrier is the consistent 6th man for this Syracuse team, and that's why I feel like he's going to have a more impactful. Point on this team just because he gets more minutes. He's already had 7 points per game, 44% from the field. Godine is yet to make a 3-pointer. He averages under 1 block per game, rebound per game, and assist per game. There's no room for him on this team, and I think when Jalen Carey comes back, Godine's production is actually going to go down.
And I can't say that. This is the question that all Syracuse fans look forward to, and it's not looking too great so far, but will Syracuse make the NCAA tournament?
I'm going to dunk it. I'm going to say yes. I think there'll be a lower seed. In the ACC, it's a Power 5 conference, so they get a lot of bids. Last year, the ACC got 7 teams in March Madness, in the NCAA tournament. Year before that, 9. This conference is going to get a lot of teams in the tournament, and although Syracuse is second to worst, and they have the second to worst record in the ACC, I still think that they're going to get a spot because of the amount of bids that the ACC gets every single year.
Come Selection Sunday.
And one more thing to add, Jim Boeheim has taken the Syracuse team to 33 March Madnesses and 5 Final Fours. I feel like that experience is going to get Syracuse to an NCAA tournament.
Well, you have to say.
hello and welcome once again. John Dales alongside Nicole Weaving and Cami Zaire. Now we'll traverse into the fast break. I'll throw out a statement about Syracuse men's basketball. If you agree with it, dunk it. If you disagree with it, dish it. And let us know why you feel the way that you do. So we'll get it kicked off. Question number 1. Elijah Hughes makes an all-ACC team. Nicole, we'll start with you.
But he'll definitely be in the mix.
So I'm going to go the other way. I'm still going to say dunk it, but I'm going to ferociously dunk this one. I don't think he's getting first team. It'll be tough with Cole Anthony, Vernon Carey Jr. in the mix in the ACC. But Elijah Hughes, he is still averaging 18 points per game. He's 9th in blocks in the ACC. A lot of people forget that height that he has. And you can't forget about last year. Tyus Battle, he made the 3rd All-ACC team, averaging 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Elijah Hughes has better numbers than that right now. So I think because his usage rate is going to continue to be high, because I think he's the best player on that team, and the ACC is not as strong as last year, he's going to make 2nd or 3rd team All-ACC.
Elijah Hughes definitely. Bryson Godine will be more impactful than Quincy Guerrier this season. Cam, we'll start with you. Are you dishing or dunking this one?
So if my teammate's passing it to me, I'm just going to let it go through. I'm going to dish this one so bad where I'm not even going to get the ball because Bryson Godine, he comes in, ESPN top 100 player, rated at number 71. A lot of high hopes for this guy out of Rhode Island. He plays 12 minutes per game, and they're usually in garbage minutes or when the team's not playing well at all. Jalen Carey's out. That's another reason that Godine's in there. And I think Guerrier is a good player. He's their consistent 6th man. He plays about 20 minutes per game. He already has a double-double, 13 and 10 against Penn State. And he already played 31 minutes in a game in that same game against Penn State. He's already showing his prowess, and he's going to continue to do that this season.
I couldn't agree more with everyone.
We'll go into our 3rd statement now. This one pretty cut and dry. Syracuse makes the NCAA tournament this year. Nicole, we'll start with you.
You mentioned.
Do you hear that, or is that just me? Is that Syracuse Orange fans going crazy? Because Syracuse is making the NCAA tournament. Last year, the ACC had 7 teams in that tournament. 2 years ago, 9 teams. The ACC, they're a Power 5 conference. The committee, whoever's deciding March Madness, they're going to put at least 7 ACC teams in it. And I look at Syracuse within that conference, and I think that they're one of the top 7 teams. Even though they haven't started off well, I understand that they'll need to beat the teams that aren't as good. They play Niagara, they play teams like Oakland. They have to win those games at home. They'll struggle against Duke and North Carolina at home, but I think that home crowd will definitely help. Elijah Hughes is only going up. They have a lot of young guys. Joe Girard, Quincy Guerrier, we just talked about him. Those young guys are going to get more experience, and with Jim Boeheim at the helm, 33 March Madnesses, 33 NCAA tournaments, and 5 Final Fours. There's a reason these guys come to this college, and there's a reason that Syracuse is going to make the NCAA tournament.
See, you say